Very disappointed in the way that the game turned out. I felt, early that, we had a lot of good things going for us. It felt like the game kind of changed there somewhere in the second quarter. We were up, I think it was second quarter, we were up 14-0 and felt like we really had a lot of momentum going. And then, they scored. And then we had the turnover, and they scored, and then we gave up another one there, before the half. And and then offensively after that, we had a hard time getting anything going. Felt like we could run the football on them early, and we did. But those guys have been there before. Eastern has kind of dug themselves into a hole before, but have always managed to fight themselves out of it, and they were able to do that again today. So congratulations to them. They're a great football team. We congratulate them on the victory, and it's just bitterly disappointing to us because we felt like we had opportunities today. But very proud of how the kids fought all year, and thought they continued to fight hard today. We were close on a couple of things to making some plays, and we had some guys make some plays. There were a lot of plays out there where the ball was just a little bit, there were some tipped balls that we had, and they made the plays, and we didn't quite make enough. So congratulations to them.
Okay, questions?
The fake field goal, was that something did they completely fool you on that, or you just?
No, we missed it. We had a guy there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we weren't fooled. We just gotta wrap up. I mean, we were in position.
Steve, you mentioned your running game, and it seemed like that was kind of obviously the game plan early on. I mean, was there a point in the game where you thought you guys would open it up at some point, and do you feel like maybe you could have earlier, or just?
Nah, the first half we had 4 series. We scored on 2 of them, and then 2 of them. Well, one of them I know we wound up. I think it was 4th and 1, and I probably should have went for it. Hindsight's always 20/20. But we wound up 4th and 1 on one, and that would have been the 3rd out of 4 possessions. Probably should have, But I mean, we were running the football effective early, and I don't know, somewhere late 3rd, I finally told Nathan, "Hey, we got to start airing it out," because they have cranked it up a notch, and I have seen, and I don't understand. I'm sure they wish they knew why people can run the football on them early, and then they rev it up a couple of notches and seem to be able to tighten the hatches, as the game wore on, and they did that. And we had some opportunities. We just, need to take advantage of them.
Coach, it seemed like you guys had a lot of momentum, but then it seemed like they swung that all the way back right before halftime. Is there a moment you can point to where it kind of got away from you guys?
There were a couple of plays in there where we had a chance or two to get off the field. On that when it was 14-0, and they made some plays, and to keep the drive going and all of that. There was a play in there where they we finally get a holding call. They back them up 10, and then they call a sideline interference. That was big. That's a 25-yard penalty, right? 10 yards and then 15. That's a 25-yard penalty that led to their first score. I don't want to blame the officiating at all, but I thought that was a big, a momentum shifter, because it would have really put them behind the chain. We finally got a holding call, and then it was negated by a sideline down. Again, next question.
How differently did you play their passing offense as opposed to what you did against Sam Houston?
Pretty differently. We played a lot more zone, dropped more people, and played with a little more, played a little more 3 deep, a lot more 3 deep. Chris, would you say we played a lot of 3?
Yeah, we dropped a lot more players than we did against Sam Houston.
Yeah.
Didn't play bad.
Sam, we were all zero, cover 4. This game, it was a lot more cover 3, which is a softer zone.
Chris, what did you guys think as a defense, just kind of, you got those first 2 stops to start the game in terms of kind of momentum and just kind of what you guys were trying to do early on to be able to kind of slow those guys down? Just kind of take us through the thought process and whatnot.
Yeah, well, first of all, we always try to stop the run, so that's what we want to do first of all. And then when the pass came, we wanted to get to the quarterback more than we actually did. And then just get in the zones and find someone in your zone to guard, but quarterback's running around, completing balls.
What's it like as a defensive player to go against 100 plays like they ran today?
It's a little tougher. They went kind of quick, get more tired, and just got to keep going next play.
Hayden, did you see anything differently that they were doing defensively the second half that got you out of the rhythm?
I mean, not really. They didn't change a whole lot. They kind of stayed in what we prepared for all week, and they just, like Coach said, they just revved it up and gave us some fits. We had a lot of success in the run game early, and then, like you said, they kind of stopped that and then limited us, I guess was the best word, in the pass game. They just, overall, the second half, they just kind of revved it up and took over. I don't want to say we were ever out of the game, because we're still, if you think about it, just a few plays away from, making that at least a tighter game. But, credit to them. They did a good job. They had a good defense. They're athletic. And then in the second half, they definitely, I think they applied a little more pressure in the pass game for sure. They got to me a little bit, but that's part of it.
Hey, what did you think about what you guys got from your defense? As an offense, did you guys feel like you got what they were doing kind of gave you guys the opportunities tonight? This thing was never really out of hand until
Credit to them. What is that, the best offense in the nation right now? We held them to 30 points, and it sucks to sit here and say that and we lost, but they played well, and especially early in the game, we stopped them on 2 4th downs or 1 or 2, and we get the ball and we get up 14-0, and you can't ask for much more. We just gotta, with a team like that, if you don't get up and stay up and put them away, they'll come back.
I think, Coach, they were outscored teams by a large margin in the third quarter, and it was just a field goal, so it got to be. Yeah. That gave you a chance with the win.
It did, and we had opportunities. There was a third, and there was a third down there where we had we didn't pick up the first down on a 3rd and short, and that was a momentum shifter as well. And I think we had to punt it to them, and I don't know if that was the drive that they scored and stretched it to. They kicked a field goal and stretched it to a 10-point lead, but we've got to be able to convert 3rd and short. If you're going to beat a team like this, you can't punt them the ball back, and we punted them the ball back too many times.
Kentner Kupp, and of course, the one and only Mr. Beau Baldwin. Go ahead, Coach.
You just want an opening?
You betcha.
Okay, one of those ball games that felt typical of a playoff football game, especially a playoff football game where it's a little colder, a little fog, a little this. It just felt that way. It felt that way the game was going. Really proud of our guys in terms of, not just, finding a way to, I wouldn't use the word, kind of grindy at times, but other times, just some certain imperfections are going to happen because you're playing a great opponent. There's only 16 teams left in the conference, but we found a way with those imperfections to always keep responding. When you're down 14-0 in a playoff game and you find a way to work your way back and win 31-14, that's not easy to do. And so proud of the way the defense has stepped up. We've grown as a defense as the year's gone along. I think people weren't really believing me when I said that about 4 or 5 weeks ago. When everyone wants to write it's going to be a shootout with these guys and this and that. I said, no, it's not really the reality. And our defense has just grown so much and keep playing great football. And then offensively, we found a way to, erupt a little bit in the second quarter and then also finished on that last drive. One of the things I also liked is even if we didn't score as many points as we've been averaging, we found a way to win the turnover battle 2-0. So when you take care of the ball in the playoffs and you don't turn it over at all, and you're able to get a couple of those, that leads to wins. It just flat out does. And so that's one thing I think we did really well in that regard. It's a big play on special teams. 2 of them really. Bad call by me running that fake, but heck of a play by Wimbo. It was one of those deals where it felt like, even if we didn't get it, I was okay with it. I just thought they were pretty good at blocking field goals and kicks, so I was almost thinking that way. And Wimbo just goes and makes a play, and obviously the strip and the fun, Sam Enos and Prunty on that kickoff cover. That you can, sometimes you want to circle 1 or 2, 3 plays, circle that one. I mean, that's a play that helps turn. I know we had scored, but still, to then not give them the ball back and a chance for them to answer and go 21-7, we then tie it at 14. I mean, that was one of those 1, 2, 3, plays that can really swing a game, and did a great job with that. So excited, and when there's only now 8 teams left in the country, your guys have grinded and done a great job through the year to earn this, and now we're just looking forward to the prep for the next one.
What'd you tell me about the half, Coach?
Same thing. And then I actually said those words too. I go, you're going to hear the same thing out of me that you've heard for the last 11 half times. And it's the same thing. I do not care what the score says right now. And I've said that when we've been up in halves. I've said that when we've been down in halves. I've said that it does not matter. Our mindset is that we're going to make the proper adjustments, even if it's, we're up 7, we're down 7, whatever it is. We're going to make the proper adjustments, but more importantly, we're going to be mentally and physically better than our opponents. And what we've done for the last 11 months is going to put that in our, it's going to put us in that position to be that way. It doesn't just happen by saying it. They have to have done that. And our guys were willing to work so hard in the whole offseason. It's led them to these type of second halves. That's what it is. It's just it's a mental and physical toughness to where we're playing with more stuff in minute 40, 45, 50, 55 than our opponent. And it's been like that all year with this group.
Coach, you did a great job on defense in the second half with a lot of injuries at linebacker. You're down 2 guys. You got Kentner and Andrews stepping up. Talk about these guys and what they've done.
Oh, it's been fantastic. I mean, just to see, you get Mick, obviously a first-team all-leaguer going down. You can't just replace certain people. I mean, it's not a matter of replacing. You just have to have so many other people. And Calhoun been out for a while, and Ketch in that game. So to see Kentner, Katz, those guys stepping up like they did, that's huge. And our guys believe it. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we don't say the words next. Someone was asking me that with Coop. How do your guys handle that when Coop goes down? We don't say the words next man up and have it not mean it. And I think sometimes those words are said, hey, we're next man up, but when they get in that moment, you see them are they really living it? Our guys live it. I'm telling you. Kettner's over there with these guys mixing the huddle. We all just know, yep, Kentner and Cass are going to be just fine. And they're going to go. And when Coop's down, yeah, we're going to be just fine. You saw Styles come in against North Dakota State, or Splendo step up and make some more plays. And our guys just believe that. We're excited about when we get those great players and leaders back. But until then, our truly next man up, we believe strongly that it's, they're going to put us in a great position to win. So happy for those, all our guys, but definitely always fun to see those guys who maybe played limited reps, and then all of a sudden on some of the biggest stages get put into those, those spots and answer.
Central Arkansas seemed pretty upset with the sideline penalty that proved to be a big pivotal moment as far as extending that drive. Yeah, you hate to say that one play defines the game, but it seemed like for you guys it seemed like a good, obviously a turning point in the ball game. Yeah,
it was, but didn't we run for 30 yards and we had one on us that I could be upset about? I mean, I guess you can always be upset about something. That was a 30-yard gain, by the way. So, I mean, you can always be upset about things. I mean, I get it, but I look at it like, that's one of those things those happen. We've been on the end of those things, and you have 60 minutes to play ball, and that's how I look at it. So, things happen in the football game, and you just decide how you want to react to them, and we react in a certain way.
You took the time out before faking the field goal. Was there something you saw, or just?
I did. It wasn't that I saw that it would be a good. I actually went into this game knowing it's probably not there. I know that sounds weird to say. I actually went in, but I saw them loaded up in a certain way that in my gut I felt like they're in position maybe to block this thing. Now, if they block that thing, and you got a bunch of big bodies out there, that can lead to a scoop and score. So I felt like if we fake this and it's not good and it's incomplete, okay, we gave it a shot, maybe it hits. We could also kick it and miss it, right? It's not taking, everyone says, why don't you take the 3? Well, if they're giving it to me, I will. So it's one of those deals where I saw it and the time was running out, but more than anything, I wasn't even sure if we were going to get the snap off. But realistically, I saw them in a kind of a look that made me a little, it was a gut feeling that they might have a shot to block it. I thought if we were going to get the fake field goal, we were going to kind of have to make a play. I didn't think it would be wide open. And sure enough, Wimbo and Riley, they did just that. They went and made a play.
Gage, seemed like a lot of soft coverage from Central Arkansas. Is that what you expected coming into this game?
Not really. You're exactly right. I didn't. They were a team that kind of, did what they do all season long, no matter who. But they really hadn't maybe faced an offense quite the same as ours. So we're always ready for that, when someone does that. But I can't sit here and say I expect it because they didn't show it. So you had to kind of get a feel. Are they going to be one of those teams that comes in and we're going to do still what we do? I mean, when Northern Iowa came in, they did exactly what they do, even though they're playing All-American receivers, that sort of thing. But these guys decided to go a different, just a different route with it. And I think it was effective for them in a lot of ways. I thought they did a great job with it. And we've had other teams, do that against us as well. Gage will tell you, we're just always ready as an offense to adapt. We just know we can watch all the film we want, we can prep, but the prep for us is more about us and what we need to do and execute, and then we'll be ready to adjust to what a certain team or defense decides they're going to do in that situation.
Gage, how's your arm doing with the, I think, school record completions, but a lot of attempts that it was truly, as Coach said, kind of, their defense dictated that, and you had to take advantage of that. When's the last time you threw that many balls? I guess over a 3-hour period.
Yeah, I've never thrown that many balls in a game before, for sure. But I mean, they were giving us underneath stuff, and they're a tough outfit to run the ball against, and showing it. So we just take what they give us, and so it's not like we're throwing the ball downfield all game. We're throwing the ball 5-10 yards every single play.
Can you just talk about your defense behind you today, about how you guys had again, as Coach mentioned, that kind of rap about the shootouts, but the fact of the matter is that they held a great offense in check today.
Oh, of course, yeah, and we know as an offense that we trust our defense out there, and it makes it so much easier in offense to go out there and know, okay, if we don't score, we're fine because our defense just can go out there and get a stop or a turnover or something like that. And that's the feeling we've had the whole year. It might not have gotten into the media and the people outside of the program until mid to late in the year, but we knew the whole year that our defense is stellar and they're going to come through in big time situations like they did today.
Kentner, why do you think this defense is getting better, not only through the latter part of the season, but in the latter part of games?
Just what we did in the off season, how hard we worked, and kind of set ourselves apart in that way, and then just trusting each other and knowing that the guy next to me is going to do his job and I'm going to do mine, and if we do that, then there's nothing much that offense can do. So.
What did you guys do to adjust to Central Arkansas's run game? You guys shut it down pretty well in the second half.
We just weren't fitting it up right, so we got to the sideline, and again, just coaches told us what we needed to do, and each guy did his job and fit up his gap like he needed to, and if you do that, they can't run the ball. So.
Beau, did you have Cooper on a play count today, or what was it?
No, it was one of those deals we went into it kind of like we did NAU. It was very similar to the NAU game where we knew we were going to try and be smart, but we were just going to kind of feel it out, and see where he was. Now, in the second half, we got into a mode, and Coach Edwards and Coop and Coach Taylor, myself, we all, just talked about it and where he was, and we were just at a spot where it was the smartest thing to really spot him in the second half. And then it got to a point where it wasn't the smartest thing. So it was like, one of those things we were kind of feeling it. So it wasn't it definitely wasn't a strict play count as much as we were going to feel it, but we were going to be strategic about how we tried to use it.
Gage, Coach talked about the strip on the kickoff. Did you feel the momentum shift at that point?
Oh yeah, after we just went down there and scored and then get a big turnover and we get the ball on the 20-yard line, it was like, okay, here we go. Let's go. We got a great field position. Let's go in there and score and tie this thing up within a matter of a minute in the game. So yes, you definitely felt a momentum shift.
Kentner, could you just talk about kind of how Gage said how they depend on you guys and they trust you guys? Can you flip that and talk about how you guys in the offense, how you guys look at them and kind of just the trust you guys have in each other?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we know if we go out there and get a stop, like one stop, we have a good shot at winning the game with the power our offense has. So yeah, just a ton of confidence. We go out there and know that regardless of what happens, we got a good shot with these guys on the other side of the ball. So yeah, team effort, and it's awesome.
Coach, how have you seen that trust kind of even get stronger throughout the season goes, and how important is it to have those guys kind of having each other's back?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, that's the only way you can truly be a championship type of team. I just believe that. If you're separated at all, if you have that, you have to compete against each other. Don't get me wrong, and it doesn't mean it's like a family. I mean, the true definition of that family, where you battle or you fight or you compete, but you have to have that trust. And this team is, and it has to be earned over time. It's not something you can post on a wall, and I told them that before, or put on a shirt and just think that now we're a family, we put it on a shirt or whatever it might be. You have to do it day by day. And these guys do that, and it's just built. And and you talk about that. I think it's carried over into. I know it's carried over into special teams too. I think over the season we've had a strong special teams unit, and the closer a team is, the better you are on special teams too. And the reason being is because all of a sudden it's those one-play series where a D end is next to a running back on kick return, or a tight end is next to a DB on punt, or whatever it might be. People don't think about that, and the closer you are as a team, I think the better you are on special teams. And I think so. I think it carries over in a lot of different ways.
There's some guys on this team that have never played in the playoffs before, and this truly is a different beast. How did those guys handle it? Because it's so important. Obviously, you only get one opportunity.
I think they handled it great, and you saw it out on the field. You never felt like guys were, ever panicking or wide-eyed or treating it any different. And that's what we talked about last night. It's not a matter of, now it's the playoffs, we have to do that. No, we just have to grow as a team. This is game 12 for us. I get it, what it is, but if you try and make it more than it is, you sometimes can get that, that have to or that tight. And I don't ever want our guys. We've done the prep, we've done that, and so those guys felt that, we just, but to sit here and say we can't continue to grow as a team, we won't have success in the long run in the playoffs. So we just have to look at it like, man, we have to be better in game 12 than we were game 11. And that's how we're gonna approach next week. We have to be better in game 13 than we were game 12. How can we do that? What can we do? How can we attack the week? And then by the time you've put in the prep, now you're just free to play come Saturday. So it's exciting. It's exciting to see those type of young guys in that spot handle it in the right way. And, so it's fun.